Well, now we have breaking news.
UFC Freedom 250 event in D.C. this past weekend was the target of a two-wave terror plot.
This is very, very dark stuff.
A second wave was then planned to storm the White House gate. Quite a frightening and sobering discovery.
And cue the fire. The FBI saves the day. Once again, saves the president. I mean, the president was unaware that any of this was taking place, but I just want to say thank you, Cash, for coming in clutch and saving 85,000 people, service members and Americans. Is it just me, or is that's just a bad photo? Is his eyes kind of like just a little bit? And you know what's sad in life? I wish I wasn't so logical. My wife's like, do you have any emotions? Why do you always have to question everything? Why can't you just, this is the narrative. First, she drags me into a movie. And I like the crime ones because, right, you and I, we try to figure it out before it even starts. My wife and I just finished the series. I'll do this in under 5 seconds. And I thought I had it nailed. And it ended up being like the 100-year-old mom that was in a wheelchair. I'm like, okay, you got me on that one. But FBI disrupts a planned attack. Okay, I like that. Disrupts. Disrupts cage fighting show from PBS. Didn't they have like cartoons? 5 men arrested, charged. Okay, I like FBI foiled, and we have FBI thwarted. I think Fox is going a little weak on this one. They're saying FBI disrupts.
Explosive-packed drones hitting buildings near the event, forcing a mass evacuation and steering crowds towards a pre-staged sniper team. A second wave was then planned to storm the White House gate. The FBI first learned of the threat last Wednesday and worked with law enforcement across multiple states to stop it. Joining us now on the phone, former FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino. Dan, thank you for getting on the air with us. What else can you tell us? This is quite a frightening and sobering discovery.
Thinking what, you can't get Cash on the line for something frightening and sobering? What? Government's always like, it's frightening. That's why we must have FISA or FISA. Actually, you want to know what I find frightening? I find 8,000 new IRS agents. That's frightening. You want to know what else I find frightening is they said the Strait of Bravo's hair moose is wide open. 1. Now, I realize that's gone up 100% since 0. 1. Your cargo vessels carrying energy. So, hey, for all of you that think it is safe to go back in the waters, which you will look at them, well, that stock market is just full of great white sharks. So if you feel the need, I mean, I trade it every day, but for you investors, I will bring you something that will frighten you. Breaking news, and I'll keep you updated on this. I pray this does not get the vote. Trump ties FISA renewal to his stalled voting bill. Don't tie it to anything. Just say no. Because call me crazy that I don't want to give FBI more power than it already has. And again, logically thinking, what are the chances that the FBI manufactures things, events, stuff? Take, for example, J6. Actually, why don't we just Google it, right? How does that look? Terror plots were manufactured by the... All right, let's give this one a swing. AI overview. Well, look at that. Numerous investigative reports. Legal experts, civil rights groups have documented that the FBI has organized, funded, and effectively manufactured multiple. See, that's why you just can't take things at just fair value. There you go again, Bravo, having to dig in again. Multiple high-profile domestic plots through aggressive sting operations. I mean, so like, should we do some scrolling the mechanics of all these? Oh, we got that one. Call 911. Unsuccessful. Boy, but it just looks like I can just scroll for a long time of all these things. As you know, on this channel, we lean to the right, but with logic. We don't take anything at face value. I know we're not supposed to question anything. Just leave it to the experts. If you were to take J6 alone, right? Let's just take that. Remember? I remember. And then you see the footage that finally got out. All the footage that they didn't want to get out, where they're like, come one, come all, Opening gates. Oh, hey, here's a rock. Try that window. Trying to have logical conversations with my left friends. And they're like, no, you don't even know. Trump bad guy. Trump started. I'm like, come on. Let's talk here. Now that Trump's in and the Republicans hold everything, and then if I question anything on this channel, people are like, derangement syndrome. I don't think you subscribe to this channel because you don't want me thinking. I mean, I could have came out right out of the chute when we met, maybe brushed my hair properly and said time in the market is always better than timing the market. Save your money. Do all the things that you're basically institutionalized to do. So while you and I are friends, which will carry this friendship a long time, just know I will always question, even if it's frightening and even if it has to do with us giving up our rights. So I was saying, don't FISA, whatever you want to call it. No, you can't call it FISA because the A makes the vowel say its name, right? Oh, wait, that would be FISA. Let's head over to G7, and this is when they talked to Trump about this. The foiled plot. Some idiots on message boards were going to take over the world, but they used encrypted. I hope you do too. I mean, what isn't encrypted? Isn't your iPhone encrypted? Is Telegram encrypted? When you break it all down, it's like, okay, so where's all the drones? Okay, you struggling. Oh, so the one dude had a gun. All right, and it's painted red, white, and blue. I got you. The other people that he's messaging, like, hey, this is a great idea, guys. So UFC 250, it's going to be totally unprotected. There won't be any, no security. We're going to bring in our drones. Because the airspace will be totally cleared. We'll get everyone to come out, and we'll have snipers all over the place, and we will take them all out. Sounds great, Jared. As the FBI is like, look at us, but let's head over to the president.
Were you briefed on the attack plans for the UFC event at the White House? There was the FBI thwarted an attack.
I haven't heard about it, no. But I watched, the attack that I watched were the fighters. And he saw it too, by the way. He was sitting back home in his beautiful palace and he was watching that. And they were as good a fights as I've ever seen, right?
The best fight.
The best. They were. That last fight was brutal. Wow. And the all of the fights were good.
The two fights.
It was all good. It was a great evening. It was very different for the White House, but I wish you could have been there. We built an incredible arena. Dana did a great job.
There's going to be another fight next year, Mr. President?
Well, I don't know. I got away with it because 250 years. Maybe in another 50, maybe in 300.
I would have to say even I was uncomfortable. It's like, what? You didn't hear it? You didn't see it? But new details. FBI unseals right from weeks ago. Chilling evidence in foiled White House UFC terror plot. 19-year-old. Suspect named. Heroic mom in Ohio turned her 19. Yep, it was Tyson. And Tyson may or may not have owned a rifle. And a lot of screenshots of the map. And he had discussions. And here is the plot. I mean, do I even need to panic? 80,000 people, Secret Service. Okay, let's make some money. Before we do, okay, I'm just covering some things. So just when the rug gets pulled, you're like, I didn't see that coming. Oh, SpaceX is up. I said it would go up at first, and then it'll go down. I just don't want you getting caught into the down part. Also, I do not believe that Elon's going to dump his shares. I think, what is it, the lockup? You got 85% of that stock locked up? Hold on, let me just Google and do some due diligence. 5% of stock. You guys have 5% is floating right now. 95%, I was off, is locked up. And I know Elon, it's a year, but he's not going to sell because rich don't sell. We take loans against it because the peasants sell and then they have to pay 50% in tax. The rich, which I've taught you, is buy assets, borrow, and that's it. I don't want you to die. Just stick to the buy, borrow part. Well, I don't believe in debt. You're in a debt-based system. 98% of money is is debt. Trillions. It's huge. Help you take advantage of this system. And it's kind of difficult to get up there. You got to get to the 1%. And you'll be like Elon and like, I'm a trillionaire. Can't do it by selling. Do it by taking loans. Asset prices go up, which in a debt-based system, goods go up. If you're measuring it to currency, prices will always go up because it has to, because you always need to print debt in a debt-based system because it comes with interest. And how are you going to pay for that interest? You create more debt. It's a big machine and it needs to be fed. So prices, according to this, will always go up. Ta-da! Make sure you pick the right ones. I will show you in about 40 seconds, but first, real quick, because I don't want to see you get rug pulled. A quote, weapon more powerful than any nuke. Iran can shut the Strait of Hormuz. Again, this is U.S. intelligence, so don't come screaming at me. U.S. intelligence says they're in control. They can shut it. They do. And currently no ships are going through it. That oil price that continues to do that, get ready for the bounce. This is still, to me, this is scary. U.S. strategic oil reserve hits lowest since 1983. We are at the bottom, and anything could change. I mean, within seconds, President Trump can quote, all hell will rain down on them. Actually, he just said this. This is at the G7 right now. Like, Orange guy's still mad? I thought we solved everything. Bravo, you don't know, man. With $300 billion, even though we're not giving it to them, it's just something. It's not him. It's going to be okay. Like what Obama did. It's different this time. Quote, how about we have no obligations to invest any money in Iran? Oh, well, that's different. I thought we were giving him $300 billion. My mouth really wants to say $1 million because $300 billion is a lot of money. And, okay, set that aside. Hey, can someone get BlackRock on the phone? Because I would like to make some investments. Are they doing the cleanup on aisle 9? Because usually that's how this game is designed. We build the rockets, okay, we make lots of money making rockets, and then we drop it on people, okay? Because the market is very good at blowing things up. And then, but we talk to them ahead of time, we'll rebuild you. You're going to make a lot of money from this. And then BlackRock rebuilds and the cycle repeats. But I cannot confirm that it will be BlackRock again. But what I can confirm from Reuters, exclusive, Iran deal includes $300 billion. Nope, that's fake news, Bravo. Not going to be any money given. The Strait of Hormuz will be open for business. And actually, someone I really like, Kennedy. Love listening to this guy. He's just great for that soundbite. Let's see the words of the wise Kennedy.
Are you confident that Iran is going to give up its nuclear ambitions, or do you have any sort of skepticism?
Well, what? If you, how can I put this? Unless you were homeschooled by a day drinker, no one's confident that Iran's going to do anything, and it's unfair.
So there you have it. If you are homeschooled by a day drinker, I love this man. This at a time that Iran currently is seeking full assurance to access on these funds, $300 billion. Oops. I know it's zero hedge. You hear about property foreclosures filing increase 14% year over year. And you have to look at, well, how many was that? It's like the Strait of Hormuz, 100% more. Okay, so now there's one. All right, so now we need to look at this, and I need to show you something. Which one would you like? You want the NASDAQ? Because I trade that every day. Or we can look at SpaceX. Congratulations, 200. From 150 to 200. I just saw a comment, because I read all of your comments. You said, my gut feeling was I shouldn't have listened to you and sold at the top. I don't know how high this will pump, but you do know what this is. That is currently being funded by retail, not the sharpest tools in the shed. But if you picked the NASDAQ going down today, you would have made a lot of money. If you would have picked the NASDAQ in a rising wedge at open. That is on the 2-minute. We are currently going to move it to the 1. This is for my investors. I need you to see this, okay? Or if this was a South Park episode, it would be, okay, class. This is a gap. This is a double top. If you want to go all in up there, you go right ahead, Stan. What are the chances that that gap is going to get filled? About 98%. And in the short term, on major indices, they get filled because the charts predict the news. Kind of weird. It's like, is something bad going to happen? So I asked my student to send me his numbers, and he sent me SpaceX peak bubble action. Okay. And what we traded this morning and how we traded it. He had his levels. I don't know how much. I think he made like around $2,000 this morning. Traded that candle, went long 4, break top, add 4, exit, and then send me Elmo. But even if you did not understand all of that, I'm going to turn on one thing. Oh, and he just sent me his numbers. He is fast. Let me pull that over here. Let me click there. What do we got? 2,650. Does it all line up? I'd like to make an extra 2,000. Stop emailing me. I promise I will come here every day and teach you. No, I cannot teach you everything that is in the course, and no, I won't show you the one glitch. Don't need the comments, but grab it. Please grab it. Learn this. That little orange button, you make your digits go up every morning. You could do it in the afternoon. You could do it in the whatever. It was so easy. Everyone would be doing it. But have you seen? Walk into Walmart. Don't even know how to use self-checkout. All they know is like, oh, I think we need to go long here. I did say I'm going to turn on one thing. That would be the 200-day moving average. Well, that's weird. Smacked it right there. If you're currently in the course and you're like, we're going long. No. Also, don't email me and go like, so I got right. You can't. Jeremiah, you're in the no-no zone. Yes, I traded in the no-no zone. I don't do anything. Don't do as I say, don't do as I do. Wait for long enough, I'll give you that. But you need to know these things. Like, did you happen to see? Did you possibly happen to see the rising wedge that was happening exactly up to the 200? So again, if you got in this, which I did, student did, but it's you sticking your hand in a piranha tank, that's it. Done. Now, should have went tether balls to the wall here, down. See, under the 200, under the 20. This was like your consolidation. This is it's a try. You ain't doing it. And whee, and then whack-a-mole. Whee. Here, do it again. Whack-a-mole. Whee. What? You don't have those sound effects. And whee. And at this point, I mean, you guys have made enough money. You're Gucci. And yes, I realize you made me trade till 8:30. And here, I'll measure it from confirmation to not all the way at the bottom. 378. And on one contract playing whack-a-mole on the way down, you made 7,560, which could be helpful. I think, and I come here every single day, and I show it to you. I show me walking people through it, film me trading. I edit it up. I put it to a course. I give you step by step, and then you don't have to be worried so much. I mean, this is scary stuff. Government's scary, but anyways, change your life. Don't worry about that stuff. And with that, I love you. I'll see you tomorrow for the next scary thing.